Hey guys, I'm just kidding. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing something different. I'm squatting. I'm just kidding. It's just, this is like the first time I'm posting 2 videos in one day. I just finished my wrap up for April and now I'm recording my TBR for May, which I'm super excited about because I haven't done a May TBR, well, ever, because I didn't have a channel last May. Um, no, but I haven't done a TBR in like forever. Um, I wanted to try to see how it is when I don't plan anything I'm going to read and just go with the flow and all that other stuff. I don't like it. Um, so I'm back to doing TBRs. And granted, just like when I was doing TBRs before, a lot of times I add books to it, things that I didn't know. If something pops out at me, I will go with the flow. It's not like I have to stay with a list, but I think planning something to read kind of makes me more productive, and I always have like a book on deck. So I really like that. Anyways, let me go ahead and get started and stop yapping because this month, if I'm so hyped on reading just because of the books that I have planned. First up, With the Fire on High, Elizabeth Acevedo. Now, you guys know, you guys know, last year, The Poet X, that was my favorite book that I read, and I'm just so excited. I've been anticipating this follow-up. It sounds nothing like The Poet X, which I'm excited about as well, because it's about a young girl who is a teenage mom. She's a teen, but she has this love of cooking and wants to be this chef, but she feels like that goal is just not attainable because she has real responsibilities. And that's pretty much the gist of what you get. But I'm so excited because I've never read a novel that was about someone who had like this love of cooking. And I feel like that's going to be good for kids to see like different career paths and different passions that they could have. Plus, I love cooking, and that's like one of my releases. And it'll just be fun to read about someone who also has like this love of cooking, essentially. And I'm also super excited because the book comes out tomorrow. Well, by the time you guys watch this, it probably will be already out. But the book comes out May 7th, and on May 7th, I'm going to meet Elizabeth Acevedo finally, because I tried to go to some of her events earlier this year and last year for the Poet X, and I was always out of town or something. So this is like the first time that she's came and I'm in town, and it's going to be with Clint Smith, who I just saw at the Anti-Racist Book Fest, which if you guys watch my vlog, you guys saw as well. And I enjoyed his author talk so much. So I'm excited that he's going to be the one kind of like asking her questions. And, I've already pre-ordered the book, so I'm going to be getting it signed. And I just am excited about that event. Like, that was a goal of mine, was to attend more book-centered events this year. And I feel like I've been sticking to that. And I've just been accomplishing a lot of my reading goals. So it's exciting. The next book I actually do have on deck because it's already out. This came out April 30th. Yeah. I just picked it up from the library yesterday, had it on hold. So once it got released, I was there. And this is Love from A to Z. This is going to be the first novel that I read from this author, even though the author has previously written, they say that it's the author of Saints and Misfits, which I never read. But this, I think because I've been seeing it so much, I was like, oh, I got to put this on hold. And plus, the synopsis sounds interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit of romance, which I like, with a little young adult flair, which I also like. But it's about this girl who, I guess, gets suspended from her school because she gets into it with a teacher. Sounds like some kind of sketch situation with that. But essentially, she gets not sent away, but during that time, she goes off to Doha to live with her aunt. And in the process, she runs into this dude who, the Marvel and the Oddity, they like meet up and their worlds clash and all this other cutesy. It seems like a cutesy story with like some real life stuff going on. So I'm excited to see how this one unfolds. Ooh, okay, next up. Now this I'm really excited about. So this, not to bring up the Anti-Racist Book Fest again, but this is the only reason why I picked this up. This came out October of last year, so a few months ago, late last year. And I never had this on my radar. I may have saw it and just never thought about it, but the author, she was in the author speak. Imani Perry was in the author speak with Gloria Edom, and I was just so like, once she talked about it, I was like, I have to read this. This sounds like amazing. This is nonfiction, and this is the story of Lorraine Hansberry. And if you aren't familiar, A Raisin in the Sun, she wrote it. She died prematurely. Well, I don't want to say prematurely, but she died at a young age, her early 30s. And I think that's probably why, or what that has to do with, as to why she doesn't really get the same recognition as some of her peers. Like, apparently she was close friends with James Baldwin. She was an activist, spoke out during that time. She is a part of the LGBTQ community. It seems like she just had an interesting and impactful life, even though she didn't live that long. And you would have to hear the author talk about it. The way the author sold me on the book without even trying to sell me on the book, I was just like, wow, I know this writing's about to be fire. And on the back of it, it has like co-signs from like Alice Walker and Jacqueline Woodson and Edwidge Dunticat, Cornel West, people that I would trust their judgment on. So I'm excited. I'll let you guys know how this turns out. It's funny because I haven't heard, I may just miss it. I haven't seen a review on this or anybody I know that has read this. If you have, definitely in the comment section below, let me know. I mean, I'm going to be reading it anyways, but it'd be cool to hear from someone who actually read it, their thoughts on the book. Next up is Monday's Not Coming. This also came out last year. This was actually a book I was well aware of, and I kept saying I was going to read, but never actually read it, which I'm finally getting to. I'm so excited that I am, because I can finally check this off as to a book that I want to read. It's like a mystery almost. It's about a teen girl set in Washington, D.C. Monday. She goes missing. We don't know how, but she's like gone for like a year before anyone even notices that she was missing. And I don't know, that in itself is like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I don't know why I never got to it. It's just, there's so many good books, so it's hard to read everything that sparks your interest, but I finally picked it up. So I'm excited to see how this plays out, and I'll let you guys definitely know like my thoughts on the book once I finish it. Once Ghosted, Twice Shy by Alyssa Cole. Now this, you guys know I loved A Princess in Theory. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. But it's actually not a physical copy for it. It's an ebook. It's a novella. But it follows Lakotsi, which is a character from A Princess in Theory, where during that story, we know when she goes to New York, she apparently has some type of relationship with this girl, and she seems all in, but something happens where the girl, I think, ghosted her or something, and kind of like broke her little heart. So we're gonna get to hear the story behind that, and I think they reunite, and I'm just excited because I already know the writing's gonna be dope. Also, the books that I think like that are on my radar, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to, are these two. So The Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali by Sabina Khan. This came out earlier this year, and it sounds interesting, but I don't know anybody who's read it. So I'm going to be reading it. It's basically about a young Muslim girl who grows up in a pretty strict household. It kind of sounds like the cliche, you grow up in a strict household thing, and she has to wear conservative clothing and all this other stuff. And she's trying to follow the rules and play, the goody girl or whatever. But then her parents catch her kissing a girl, and all hell breaks loose. So I'll see how this plays out. I don't know, because my TBR is kind of hefty, if I'll actually get to it, but I'm going to try. If not, I'll just read it next month. This, I feel like I know I'm not getting to. Why did you even pick this up? Who knows? I may change my mind and read it sooner. This is Another Country by James Baldwin, which you guys already know one of my goals is to read more classic books by Black authors. And this is one of those classic just books that you hear about. So I'm pretty excited when I finally get to this, but I just know, girl, you got a lot on your TBR, so let's be realistic. I talked so much. I'm so excited about this month now that I actually am back to planning and having books beforehand, so I don't have like these days where I'm trying to figure out my next read. Thank you guys so much for always commenting. I love the conversation below, so definitely let me know if you've read any of these or what you guys are reading. Let's just continue this video down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love and light. Bye.